Okay, after we've gone through the setup, and as you saw there, it did take quite a bit of time. It was still thinking. You will notice here, these are all the individual modules that you can log into for Dynamics. Now, there's a couple things I want you to be aware of. There's the customer service, and then you'll see something here called Customer Service Hub. This is the same thing for Project Service Hub versus Project Service, and Sales versus Sales Hub. The primary difference is this is the classic user interface, which does not say the word hub, and the one that does say the word hub is the um, new user interface going forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click here and I'm going to say open this in a new tab, and I can right click on the sales area and say open in a new tab as well. And don't worry, from either of the user interfaces we're going to see, you can actually log into the other modules very easily. Okay. So here, if you'll notice, we have the Sales Hub, which is a very flat user interface with a navigation on the left. This is, oh, sorry, it's not the classic. I'm going to open up the classic by clicking here and just going to sales. I thought I had done that, but obviously I did not. Well, look at that. I learned something new. Microsoft has made the classic view, they've deprecated it. However, for logging in to get to the configuration area of the application, what you need to do is click on the gear over here and you can go to advanced settings. This will open up the classic user interface for you to configure the application. So this is going to take a moment, so we'll stay here. And then if you get a little bored, you can always skip through the video here. But this is an important area to see. And I'm also going to show you some areas to put in some additional data so that things will populate and reports will work, etc. Now, this is being cached right now, so the next time it will not be this slow. There we go. It's loading up. Again, this is the classic user interface, and you, by signing up for this trial account, you have 25 users and you are the system administrator for all of this. Okay, so from the settings area, you can click here, and if you'll notice, we have customizations, we've got everything to configure the system here. But where we're going to go to speed up the process, where you're going to do a lot of things, is in this customizations area. And of course, you've got security for users and permissions, but let's skip that for just a moment. I'm going to click on the customizations area. And in here, you will see that we'll be able to customize it in a moment. There we go. Now, there are solutions and then customize the system. And this is going to be your homework. I would do some keyword searches on Microsoft Dynamics 365 solution files, and you'll want to review that on your own. And what a solution file is, and I'm just going to click on it now, is where you can create a solution, and there are a number of solutions installed here, and you would create your own solution, add the entities and forms you wish to have in it that you're going to configure, and essentially you can export that solution and import it into any system. So that's how we're going to go from what I want to call a sandbox area to the production area for the Microsoft Military Affairs. But I'm going to go back here to customizations. and we're going to go to customize the system. Maybe I didn't click on it. Should be coming up. There we go. This is going to be your primary workspace here. And I did some of this on the call on Friday. So I'd encourage you to go back to that call on Friday. But remember, Dynamics is a series of database tables or entities, if you would like to call them that, or objects, if you want to call it that. And they're all right here. So you've got your primary one, which would be an account one. We've got some addresses. Contacts would be another as well. Cases or customer service issues are here. Let's see, where's contacts? There's all the contacts. And of course, you've got opportunities, etc. Okay. I'm just going to go through one of these to assist you to kind of figure out how to configure and play with the system. And you're doing it in a trial, so that's not a problem. If I click on account, if you'll notice, and each one of these entities have this, they have the forms. So these are the forms you see in the user interface. So for example, I'm going to click here and I'm going to go to all of the accounts in the system. And I think there might just be one. Go to all accounts. Do I have any in the system? Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to click on a datum. So a form is this right here. That is what a form is. A view or list view is this right here, the various columned views. And you can see here we have a number of list views. So where is that in the customizations? It's right here. Here are the various forms there are available. Here are the various views that are available and configurable. If you want to, I would encourage you to play with editing the columns, editing the various forms. I would also encourage you to add a field here to the overall account record or to a contact record. So maybe you want to add a field for the company mascot, whatever that is. Okay. This is also where you can add one-to-many relationships, many-to-many relationships, some business rules. An example of a business rule is if I enter data in one field, a value of yes, it updates another field somewhere else, or it can show a field or hide a field based upon a value I put in a different field. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. So I would encourage you to play around with this now that I've showed you how to configure the application or how to get to the configuration of the application. Last thing I would do to further enhance your trial is I'm going to click on this settings area. I'm going to go to data management. And right here within the data management, when it comes up, again, it's caching. This is the first time this is being loaded here. Bear with me. If you'll notice, we have sample data. So I'd encourage you to click there on the sample data. And it looks like some sample data was installed, just not very much because there weren't a lot of opportunities showing. But I'm going to install the sample data. This will take a few moments and we'll say it's going to be installing in the background. But I would encourage you to install the sample data. Just be patient here and you'll notice that this message will change here as well. You click on it again and so forth. Okay, installation of sampling data is being processed in the background. You continue to use the application, so that's great. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else I want to show you? Probably last couple of things here. If you'll notice here, I can go to the administration area And this is also giving you looks like a trial of some of Microsoft Office here as well. And Microsoft Flow, which is a great tool, and then the administration area. So I'm going to go to the administration area just for a moment. And one thing that you need to be aware of, okay, and this is key, you cannot add users directly to Dynamics 365. You must add them through this Microsoft 365 Administration Center. And then what ends up happening is they get synchronized to Dynamics 365, where you can add all kinds of permissions to that area. So with that, I want to take things in bite-sized pieces. I've showed you how to set up a trial. I've showed you how to install some sample data. And I've showed you how to get to the configuration area of Dynamics. And again, I would encourage you to add some fields to some forms. I would also encourage you to add some fields to the different views. And we will have a little bit of training on that next Thursday, but I would encourage you to start testing some things on your own and or doing some reading on how to configure and add fields to views and forms.